My intro.
I've already started recording. I get a cold open on my version.
Okay, got it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are live, Kay. And then we gotta wait 90 seconds, but we can talk during the 90 seconds for my intro song. So I guess we should do the intro to your show. But can you see me right now? You can't even see me, can you?
No, all I can see is it's just me. Now it's you dancing around shirtless with a dog. There you are.
Yes,
hey.
Now you can see me. Yeah, so now we're good to go. On your end, at least. Sorry, we're doing a bunch of different things at once. It's funny when you start creating a channel. I sucked at editing and all this stuff, and now it's like my passion, I guess. Or it's like figuring out how to make it work with Zoom and stuff. This is what I do all day. It's kind of funny how it works like that. Okay, let me get my microphone a little closer. We got like 30 more seconds.
Wait, how's your day going? I can't believe someone said that your hair didn't look good. Your hair looks great. It looks really lovely.
You're being nice. No, it's the thing is, how people love to give backhanded compliments, though. And I actually don't mind. I kind of like being teased. I'm not just saying that. My whole life, my dad called me Moron. That's your middle name is Mo Ron is what he called me. He introduced me as, this is my son, Mo Ron. He's like, what? Like, because my son's a moron, get it? And then I would sit there and cry. But that's just how it goes. That's life in the Primetime 99 Conspiracy Castle with your conspiracy asshole. Okay, we're about to start on my end. I unmuted myself a little early. We got 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Conspiracy Castle. I'm your conspiracy asshole, and today we're doing a crosscast with the very lovely, the very beautiful, and the very eloquent, well-spoken, my English muffin is what I call her, Kay Smythe. Welcome to the Conspiracy Castle. Welcome back to the Conspiracy Castle. And it's so good to talk to you, Kay. What's happening today?
It is so great to be back, Alex. Dude, I'm so angry at everything today, though. I don't know what's wrong with me. I think, I don't know, maybe my period's due or some shit. But, everything's pissing me off. It's too hot. I'm sweaty. Someone said something mean about your hair. They need a fucking slap. My hair looks like shit because it was fucking sweaty. And also, I'm not fucking English. I'm Welsh. But that's fine.
Oh, Welsh,
I really
whatever.
want you to
my
keep
Welsh
calling me
muffin.
English muffin. Can we keep that? I like that.
You're my Welsh muff. Do they have English muffins in what is it? If you're Welsh or you're from Scotland?
Wales.
Wales. See, I don't even know. That shows you I don't even know the map. I don't know anything. All I know is that Texas is here. Well, I'm saying when you do the 50 states, have you done that recently? I know you're a new American, but I'm saying, have you ever tried to fill out the 50 states, Kay?
Yeah, but I also have a geography degree.
So so you probably don't. So you dominate. What I'm saying is I was trying to fill out the map the other day and I couldn't figure it all out. And so I'm like, wait, how do I not? There's the reason why I did that. You're like, Alex, why would you try to fill out a map recently? Because somebody said to me, you couldn't find Ukraine on the map. And I was like, yeah, I couldn't find Ukraine on the map. And then I was like, I wonder if I could find all 50 states. And I couldn't even figure out all 50 states. So I'm not a geography major, but luckily you are. You can handle all the geographical stuff.
You know where you are with geography, and I'll take care of you. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm more of a sociologist. Okay, are you worried about World War III?
Dude, so fucking worried. But you know what? Okay, so I was thinking about this over the weekend because we talked, I don't know, was it like Friday? Oh my God, I'm so hot. So we had talked like Friday about doing this show or something like that. I can't even remember. And I was like, what's a good conspiracy that I've been thinking about recently? And then I was like, wait, my dad and I forever, he would tell me, Kay, one day the white van is going to pull up outside and they're just going to disappear, all of us. Cause and I'm like, no, why? And he's like, well, read all of these books I have on Putin. And so this is how I was raised. I have been preparing for World War III forever. 2 years ago, my big brother, if you will, Jeremiah Wilbur from the War Party movement, he calls me up. He's like, hey, do you want to start a new training regimen? And I'm like, yeah, fuck it. Why not? Am I allowed to swear on here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Shit, fuck. Okay. Yeah, right, come on. This is a party on, Wayne, as they say in
I have to do Joe Pags after this, and I'm not allowed to swear on that, but I may or may not have cracked a White Claw because I'm having a bad day.
Listen, you need to take the edge off. What about in Daily Caller? Can you cuss in the articles or no? Really? That's kind of a faux pas. Is that a writing faux pas to use cuss words?
I feel like I don't know if it's like a faux pas because oh my god, the fucking cats. I just want
That's a minor. That's not a faux. I mean, it's just kind of what not classy, I guess, to say shit.
yeah. You can't say shit, cunt, piss. You can
Well,
say
all the
ass.
BuzzFeed places, they always put those cuss words in their clickbait titles and they'll put, like an asterisk or something to make it like not say shit, where the I is. They put a stupid, like, Donald Trump is turning our country into shite or whatever, however they make it sound. They love using cuss words for kind of low IQ people, I guess, to read.
But you know what's
myself.
funny though? Like scientifically speaking, people who use curse words more often technically have a higher IQ. I don't know why that is, but there's a lot of research on that suggests that that's the case, which is great because I swear every other word. That's like what I do. That's like one of the things I guess I'm known for in my friendship groups is just saying like fuck and cunt and wanker. But I do it in such a way where I'm like one of the least angry people. That's not fair. I'm a very angry person. But my thing is I don't shout at people. I shout about things. And that's the Welsh in me, like
when you cuss, it sounds very elegant. It doesn't sound like all white trash. Like it sounds real classy. It's like, wow, did she say shit like that? That's kind of hot the way she said that. I'm serious. You have a very nice way of speaking. So when you cuss, it doesn't come across the same as a hillbilly saying it like me.
It's just funny.
Not that I'm that big of a hillbilly.
Redneck. I'm a total redneck. But can we go back to the conspiracies though about World War III?
Yes.
I started doing my training and he was like, well, what do you want to train for? And I was like, the fucking apocalypse, obviously. I've been preparing for this my entire life. I always have like 90 days worth of stuff at my place. Cause I'm like, if everyone's dead in 90 days, I'm either going to go out and strut or I'm just going to start eating my neighbors. Are you ready? Like, what are your thoughts on World War III? Like, what's happening? Where is your conspiracy mind at? Inform me, educate me. How are we going to find each other?
Well, it's very simple. This is all I have to say is for somebody that's not even doesn't know anything about geopolitics. The way they are pumping up Vladimir Zelensky, who we know is an actor, and this is my tinfoil hat, of course, and this is like the people that are really deep in the conspiracy world. Not that I'm not deep.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm saying, but there's people that think like everything's fake. Like they think Joe Biden is an actor. I don't think that. I mean, they think he could be replaced by somebody. I mean, maybe that's possible. I guess you've seen movies where they like have a Manchurian candidate, or they have like, but I don't necessarily think that. But at the same time, I look at AOC. She was like casted. She actually, in her documentary, they like put out a casting call, and there's firms that actually find people that they think would be good politicians. So yeah, in a way, every politician is an actor.
Yeah.
With Vladimir Zelensky, he's like an actual actor, was an actual TV star, and in the TV show, he played a guy that was like had a viral video as a school teacher or something, and then that propelled him to be the president of Ukraine in the show. So what I'm saying for my tinfoil hat thing, it's almost like the way the mainstream media and everybody is rallying around Zelensky makes me think the guy, he may not be a bad person, but he's not the hero. He's not who we say he is. Because, they're saying like, oh, the ghost of Kyiv, that was fake. They've showed a bunch of plane crashes that were like, oh, these plane crashes were from other stuff. And now I'm not saying there's not destruction. I'm not saying Russia's not going in there and messing stuff up. I'm just saying the left always talks about disinformation, misinformation. That's going on. We don't know what the heck's going on. And Zelensky's talking about how he's, going to be killed at any second, yet he's like having Zoom calls with Congress. So to me, I feel like this might be some sort of ploy to get America into World War III. Like, I think he's just, it's like, he's not a good guy. He's yelling at, oh, we cannot, what Russia doesn't want them to be in NATO. It's like, who gives a crap? Why are you going to go kill people because you don't want them in some sort of a treaty organization to get some sort of funding? I mean, that's all socialism anyway. Mm-hmm. Why do you care? This is all fake. The war is fake. People are dying because of bullshit. So that's what I think as human beings. You and I are smart enough. I mean, we should be smart enough to have conflict resolution where we can talk it out and not shoot each other and shoot our cats and our dogs. You see those pictures of those cats all on fire?
No, I can't. I can't even fucking imagine. Like, can you?
So what do you think? What do you think the deal is?
So, okay, my theory is a little bit not like it's built from all my like special forces friends who like tell me this shit. But they were like, we need a new war. After we pulled out of Afghanistan, he was like, how do you think Biden and all of his cronies are going to get reelected when all the people who pay them, they've now just been fucked over, the Halliburtons of the world, if you will. They've just lost their absolute cash cow for the last 20 years. So we need a new war. I think it was like the perfect timing to get in with. So there's so many different things. Okay. So I think it's the cash cow for Halliburton. I think it's depopulation when it goes long term. I think it's the perfect kind of distraction for, and I think everyone thinks this, like for China to just go and like take Taiwan back or whatever.
That's gonna happen probably.
I don't think that's like anything new or special. But like honestly, do you know what fucking freaks me out though the most? Is everyone around me is like, there's no way this is going to go nuclear. And I'm like, how is it not? Like,
okay,
okay,
real quick, I have to cut you off. So let me now, because people always get mad when I don't mention this, because everybody's talking about nuclear war.
What is it?
And this is tinfoil hat. This is conspiracy. I don't necessarily this to be true, but this is what they say. They say we have big bombs. They have the Moab, mother of all bombs. We have the father of all bombs. And now Trump dropped the Moab, the mother of all bombs, which is like the second biggest bomb we have, supposedly. So this is what they say. There's a conspiracy that nuclear weapons, as they tell us, the splitting of the atom, that's not real. We have super powerful weapons. I'm not trying to say that. I'm not like some nerd, but the idea is they told us in 8th grade, I don't know what grade they told you this, but they said that we have enough nuclear weapons to blow up the earth like a million times over. There'd only be cockroaches left. They tell you that?
Well, my great grandfather, I guess, invented particle sizing. So like from like a familial perspective, have like all my family are like amateur scientists, and so we've been kind of like, this is what we talk about around the kitchen dinner table to relax. So we're a fucking weird ass family. Okay. But yeah, I've heard that, and I think that's also a big part of like mine and my father's like just abject paranoia.
Well, that's what they say. It's because they use nuclear weapons, and maybe we do have nuclear weapons, but the idea is North Korea has nuclear weapons. We got to be so worried. Iran might get nuclear weapons. So the real only fear of nuclear weapons, the only person who's ever dropped one is America on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And when you look at that, they were actually the next day the trains were running, and there's people like in the streets selling flowers. So I'm not saying they didn't get bombed, but they also say that there's like all this fallout radiation, yet they've been eating that sushi. Raw fish literally for years, and there's no higher incidence of cancer in Japan, which is not what they thought at first. So what I'm saying is they can use nuclear weapons to scare us just by scaring us with the term nuclear weapon than ever having to actually use the weapon. You know what I mean?
I do. Sorry, my camera keeps going back and forth, so I keep having to like follow you across the screen for some reason, because it's just one of those fucking days.
It's this Monday. Why is this Monday so shitty? I woke up and listen to this. I have to say this. We're talking about the war, but yesterday I trolled this guy Clay Jenkins, and he's like the county judge.
Yeah, you've like told me everything that you did yesterday. I was scared you were gonna die.
I'm about to post the video from the Beto thing, but the guy that filmed it still, of course, I didn't film myself. I had a friend film it. Of course, he hasn't sent it to me yet, and I've only sent him 6 text messages, and I haven't gotten a response back. But I'm gonna get that. I called out Beto in the middle of his speech and got basically assaulted by a cop, like literally dragged out of there.
I told you can't die.
I know. Well, one day I will have to die. I can't live forever. But this is the thing. What I'm saying is I called out this county judge, Clay Jenkins, and my dad's like, why would you do that? You might need the judge one day. Why would if you're going to troll somebody, this guy's like an important guy in Dallas, which I don't like the guy. I'm just saying my dad he doesn't get it. He's like, why would you want to expose some guy? Like you're never going to expose him. He's a more powerful guy. You're not going to make him lose his position. You're wasting your time. That's his mindset. So what I'm saying is I get home yesterday, and then my dad's like giving me all this low vibrational crap, calling me. My dad calls me, come over. I go to his house. He's like, blah, blah, why did you do this? So I'm like in this bad mood when I go to bed last night. And then when I woke up this morning, what is this Monday? It was a weird Monday. So you're feeling a case of the Mondays too. And then the first tweet I think I read, which I know is bad. I forget who tweeted, but it's like, if you think Mondays are bad, like try the rest of the week or something. And I'm like, oh gosh, now I have to read some cheesy Monday tweet to start my day off. It's like, I feel like I'm in the movie Office Space in a weird way. This Monday's kind of weird.
Yeah, you kind of nailed it. I mean, maybe Mercury is in retrograde. I'm sorry.
something.
Firstly, I just want to say I am so sorry that you had to deal with that with your dad. My family and I have a kind of general rule where we don't talk about what I do for a living, because like I give my dad one pass on his birthday where he's allowed to be like, oh, I don't like anything that you like in politics. And I'm just like, okay.
Because they're all socialists, right? Is that what was it? What
Yeah,
was
they're
it? Yeah,
all
yeah,
like super liberal, hate Trump,
yeah.
all that kind of stuff. And I'm just like,
Hey, listen, I can kind of understand why they hate Trump. Trump is off-putting to a lot of people. I mean, I get it.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm
but
not,
they
that's
don't
not
live
weird.
here. So, but it's
Yeah.
also like, you know, the whole issue where like your parents want you, like I think if it was up to my mom, I would have married my high school boyfriend, and who still goes to their house for dinner, by the way.
Shut up, Casey. That's how I know you're a sweet lady, because he would have the audacity to still do that. He knows you're a very sweet person.
My
Because
parents
that's
are also very sweet people. I really can't say too much bad about them, other than the fact that like your parents always want like the best for you, but they don't understand it in like the context of your best interests.
yeah, but he
That
still
makes
wants some K
sense.
Smythe. He misses K. That's what he misses. He misses a little bit of K. That's what he needs. But that shows you that how kind that your family is like that. And that's how actually relationships should be when you break up. We shouldn't hate each other, but sometimes you can't help it because it's like bad.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, that's actually healthy. And even though it's weird, I think that's more healthy in a weird way.
Thank you. Well, you know, like
If it's your high school
I was the
boyfriend,
monster in that situation. I
as I
will
say,
put my
that's
hand up
years
and say that.
ago. I mean, who cares? I mean, you're over it now.
Well, okay. Let's try and find. I know at least one good thing that happened to me today, and I have to brag about it. This is an
Please.
exclusive. I'm giving you an exclusive. It's a K Smythe
Exclusive.
exclusive on the Conspiracy Castle. I wrote an article this morning. I don't know if you know this about me, but I actually, because of that same ex-boyfriend, I refuse to date musicians because
Okay.
I just can't. They're just fucking difficult. Like they're just a lot of work. But I always say my one caveat on that, even though I know he's a fucking slut, is Morgan Wallen. I love his music.
The country star. Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah.
I just think he's terrific. His music melts my soul. I can listen to it on repeat. He's in my
Well,
life.
for the people playing at home, they might not realize Morgan Wallen just now he's like one of the top country artists, but he actually got canceled for saying the N word. But then, but I'm saying he didn't get canceled. He still ended up having a number one. They tried to cancel him, and he still had a number one country album. So that's why Morgan Wallen is a badass. So you got the Morgan Wallen disease. Wow, you like him a lot. He was actually just at the rodeo in Texas. I saw a bunch of Morgan Wallen signs.
Is
So
that
it's
how you
funny.
pronounce it? Whalen? I've been saying
I don't know.
Wallen.
Is Wallen? I mean, we're Texas, so yeah, I'd pronounce it Morgan Whalen, but hey,
But
he's Morgan Whalen, right?
Morgan Wallen. I like
Morgan
that.
Whalen, right? I
He
mean,
watched my
yeah.
story on Instagram today, so that was my one like fun thing. I was like, that's the one thing I can look forward
He's
to.
trying to get.
And then he didn't slip in my DM, so I was like, right, that's cool. I'll just fucking kill myself. Anyway.
Well, he's one of the biggest country artists, so I mean, maybe give him some time. He's on the road. He knows how to slow play it. That's how all the real pros do it. You don't want to go
touch him. Oh, he's a slut.
Oh, you would touch him. Oh my gosh, you would touch him all over.
No music.
Morgan Wallen's the number one country artist. You kind of have to at this point for the story. It's like my dad, he got remarried and then actually got divorced from my stepmom. But I used to always laugh. My stepmom went and dated like Pauly Shore on a date. And nothing happened, but she's like, I kind of wish I did. So she kind of later on is like, I wish something kind of did happen. I wish I was a little more receptive. It would have made the story better. But at the time, you want to act like when you're with a select. And this is when Pauly Shore was really famous, not like recently. This is like in the 90s or whatever.
Wow.
And she was like, he was like the hottest celebrity, and she didn't give him any, and they never went out again. And she's like, maybe I probably should have. It could have, who knows what would have happened. She was trying to play hard to get. So if you're with Morgan Wallen, you try to play hard to get, you might ruin your only chance. I think you almost kind of have to be. And I'm not pro be a slut. I'm just saying when you have this opportunity with a celebrity, you might not get it again. Why not? Why not just bang one time? I mean, that's the better story than, oh, he liked my Instagram and we flirted and he sent me, a weird picture or something. Why not just go to Pound Town? Why not? I mean, if you wear protection at this point, it's a better story in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Okay. Is there like an age though, where that gets like, I'm not going to name names, but there was a moment last year where I had another very big celebrity be like, I want to fly you out to California. I'm going to like fuck you in all these places. And I was just like, I don't want that. Like, I want to just be like a wife and mother at this point.
Well,
Is
see
there a
that.
point where it's like,
Okay, everybody wants to have sex. I'm sure you like to have sex, but there's a thing. There's two guys though, and I mean, I guess there's probably more. It's more nuanced than this, but there's guys that like talk about sex. Oh, I'm flicking you off actually. That talk about sex openly, like before you know somebody. Because I see a lot of girls. I'm not on the dating app right now, but I've been on dating apps where like girls would post like, "Why is this guy already talking real sexual?" And then there's the people that like aren't sexual until you like get sexual. Does that make sense? So I think that's a red flag when the guy is saying a bunch of sexual stuff before. Like, it's just kind of weird. Even if you are a sexual person, it just seems like almost kind of gross in a weird way.
It is. And like, I also, like, me and my girlfriends were talking about this the other day. If a guy ever says he's good at eating out, you know,
that's
he's
weird.
Just not gonna fuck. He's just not gonna be. He's just won't. Anyway, let's go back to some conspiracy.
No, well, I like this sex talk. We can get off it, but I'm saying that is another thing. If a guy ever brags about that's one thing. They're like, oh, I'm so good at this. It's like, you're not that good at that. That's not. You don't need to talk about it. That's also another thing. Is like, in a relationship, even if you have a lot of sex, like, you know, you're having sex, if you spend the whole day with a person, maybe you have sex for 10, 20, 30 minutes. It's like a small part of the relationship. It's an important part. But these people that like emphasize sex, it's like maybe they were a victim of child sex abuse, or maybe they're just over sexualized. I don't know. I think this society, we should have sex.
Yeah.
But what about the bisexualism? I feel like that's a big thing, Kay. All the girls are bisexual now. That's not the same for guys. There's no guys in your app that are like, oh my gosh, this guy is bisexual. So I guess what I'm saying is I think we're becoming more sexually degenerate.
I think we are. I would say, again, just from like my lived experience and conversations with the women in my life, pretty much every chick I know wants to fuck a chick at least once.
Of course, yeah. Now it's weird like that.
Like, I don't know.
And it's socially acceptable.
Said no to a threesome, but I don't really know. Like, I think my issue is like I fundamentally don't fucking care about what people do behind closed doors, as long as it doesn't like involve children, animals, or hurt anyone. Like, that's my general rule of thumb. I think everyone should have more sex. I think porn is one of the worst things that has happened to us as a society, because it's put like all of these horrendous expectations on people. Like, one of the I don't know if I can even say who it was, but he's like a tech founder guy. He was saying that the only reason that men and women even started bothering to like go to the gym and get these like shredded bodies was because of the expectation that like porn put on us. And as soon as he told me that, I was like, well, fuck, I'm never going to the gym again. Like, that's rebellion for me. Fuck the system. But I mean, like, true. I don't know. I think porn is another way that the Chinese have infiltrated our minds and stopped us from doing anything like positive.
Well, it is. Like, I was just reading, I didn't even know this is a thing. It's called porn induced impotency. And I always joke about it being, you know, on my things, I'm always like, oh, I'm impotent from the, you know what, the I don't want to say it on here and get a strike. But what I'm saying is the porn, it does poison your mind. It gives you these unrealistic expectations, and it just like makes you feel kind of bad about yourself. Like, not that we shouldn't ever masturbate, but it's just it kind of puts you in this low vibrational state. So
we should all masturbate more, in my opinion.
You think we should masturbate more? You think that would help people out? That would relieve stress? I agree. I don't think we shouldn't.
Like, teaches you how to like teach, because like this is the other thing I don't understand about people who like whore around a lot, and I have nothing against it. But I'm like, why wouldn't you get into a long-term, like potentially lifelong committed relationship with someone and do all the weirdest shit? Exactly. You know, like, because that's like a safe space. That's someone where you can be like, you know what, that didn't really work for me. And then that's the same space where you can be like, I was into that.
But Kay, some girls, they need it from, and some guys are the same way. It's like they can't have that monogamous love. That's not enough. That's not like, you know, that's just. So different strokes for different folks. And for the people out here in the conspiracy world too, people are like, oh, you shouldn't masturbate. It takes away your power. It takes away your, not all conspiracy, but there's a rapper who thinks that too. His name's, oh, what is his name?
Incels.
Oh, I can't think of his name. He's some not that big of a rapper. Kevin Gates is his name, and he says
No
that.
idea who that is.
Okay, but you
Yeah.
look him up. His name's Kevin Gates. He's actually pretty big. He's in and out of jail. But oh, look at that! Oh, that cat is beautiful. Okay, with that black face like that and the gray. Wow. But what I'm saying, this is the last, and we could stop talking about sex and start talking about World War III, even though they are related.
More related.
Is he says that you shouldn't ever lose your seed, and that's like, or all the men's power, and that's not true, because I've had a wet dream. I remember I was so embarrassed one time. I was on this Food Network show, and it was called Worst Cooks in America, and you have to live in a house with like all these other people, like real world, and sometimes they'd film in the house. But so I didn't crank it. I was there for like a month because we were there during Hurricane Sandy, and I just didn't have time to crank it, whatever, and because I didn't have anything to look at. I had a wet dream and it's like one of the mornings I woke up and my boxers are stuck to my, ding dong. And I'm like trying to get out of the bed, and I'm in an adult room. There's a guy like a 37-year-old Indian guy. There's a guy, Dr. Bob, with the mask on. He's like a 65-year-old guy. I mean, I'm saying I'm in a room with like 6 other guys. Like, how am I going to get out of here with my boxers crusted to my wiener? So yeah, I'm just saying it'll get itself out. So maybe release it, so that doesn't happen.
It's really dangerous if you don't. Like, it's really unhealthy for you. Like, I'm pretty sure medicine has like proved that, right? And like, I know for women, someone said this to me. Who the fuck said this to me? I think it was a musician, actually.
Another musician. Wow, I'm gonna start playing the guitar. Okay, I'm gonna get.
I actually, my colleague Greg, who does the videos
for
like
Daily
when
Caller,
he covers you for the Daily Caller, he and I always yell at each other. Well, he always yells at me. He just always yells at me when we're on like work meetings. Like the first time we met, he was just yelling at me, and I was like, "Motherfucker, you don't even know my name." But we actually get along really well, and he hit me up.
Well, that's why you're always
like,
mean to the girl at the playground at first. That's why. That's how you know you like somebody. Yeah, that's the American court shit. Yeah. Okay, so he's mean to you, and then what happened?
No, but he hit me up being like, because he was talking about you in the context of something. Like, I think he had brought up one of your videos, and I was like, "Oh, you talking about Alex Stein?" He's like, "Yeah," and I was like, "I'm gonna marry that motherfucker. He's so fucking funny."
Wow.
Yeah, and so
he
was like, "Oh, no, we're like best friends or whatever." He's a really nice, really smart, one of the funniest guys I've ever met in my entire life, Greg. Other than you, obviously. So you know.
So you said that's a Greg. Wow, that makes me feel good. I mean, okay, and I'll be honest, we're talking about sex, but there's a lot of sexual energy going on in this digital format, even on Zoom. You would thought, I would have never thought Mark Zuckerberg in the metaverse, you could have meta sex, as they call it. But what do you, that's what they say. I'm saying, okay, they say now they have a glove you can put on your hand, and it's no difference, whatever sensation you would feel normally with your hand. So they say, very soon we're going to have indistinguishable virtual sex compared to the real thing. And once that happens, Kay, I know it's disgusting. There will be no incentive not to go into the metaverse. Does that make sense?
Also, women will become redundant. Like, that's the death of our species right fucking there. Wait, who becomes redundant first if there's sex in the metaverse, men or women? Because I think men would enter the metaverse first, but then if they're in there, like,
I think about it like this,
basically. What happens next?
This is how I think. This is just my guess. It's like Jurassic Park when he goes, life finds a way. So even in the metaverse, even if like 99% of the people go there, there's going to be some sort of hippie somewhere. It's like, I'm not plugging into it, and they're going to be banging, and that's what I'm saying. There's going to be people that have children naturally, but that's not going to fix this huge situation, because I think the majority of people, you're right, the women will probably become redundant. Well, actually, I don't know, because with there's enough sperm banks and stuff like that, they have a while where they could still farm male semen and have kids naturally for a while.
Men become almost redundant.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure in the metaverse, they can hook up something to your wiener and you know what I mean, like an oil rig, and have as many as much baby batter for YouTube as they need. So the women, I think the men would be And that's really what's going to happen, Kay. That's another conspiracy. Is eventually, if humanity goes on, we're all going to be one sex and one race somehow. I don't know how. I don't know how that happens, but that's what they say. Is like if we live for another billion years, in 1 billion years, there's not going to be 6 different races. At that moment, they say we'll all merge into one.
Well, this is the thing. I don't know why our species gets so fucking self-important about our long-term existence. Like, I mean, the planet's going to be vaporized in like 5 billion years anyway. But even prior to that, you know, I look at like, say, the dinosaurs and other types of like, from like a predatory perspective, we haven't got shit on them. Like, we're technically a virus if you look at the way that we have built this current version of society. I also think that we've reached peak civilization before, collapsed, and then restarted again. It's like a disease, right? It's like a virus. Like, we go through these cycles, excuse me, and I burp and fart like it's going out of fashion. The show that I have to do after this, my nickname on it is Fart Monster. And so people actually
Fart Monster? What? Your name is Fart? That's the best nickname ever. Wow.
I prefer Welsh Muffin. Like, I'm just going to throw that out.
Okay, well, I mean, Fart Monster is kind of cooler, but go ahead. Sorry.
It's a fun one. But no, like, I think we've reached peak civilization multiple times over. I mean, you can look at like the Amazon rainforest and the soil there that's not even fucking natural soil. Like, that is something that's been genetically engineered, not by our lineage in history or not by anything that we've written fucking down. So I think that we've like reached peak civilization before, and then like something's happened and we've collapsed again. There's a lot of theories as to why.
Let me cut you down. So you haven't looked into Tartaria, have you? You don't know when I say Tartaria.
What is that? I'm writing that shit down. What is
Oh my gosh, you're about to get really nuts. This will put you down a rabbit hole. So there's the idea of Tartaria is that there were a bunch of ancient civilizations before us, and they had a different sort of free energy source. Yeah. And this wasn't that long ago. And the reason why is you look at Bologna. You can look at Bologna, Italy. That's a city where they had these huge, tall towers that they were able to build with like rocks and stones. I mean, it was literally like a Manhattan in Europe forever ago. And then on top of that, you look at in America, you look at all of the World's Fairs. And during the World's Fairs in the early days, they had these opulent buildings, and they built them with no power tools whatsoever. And all these buildings got, for some reason, they had to be destroyed like soon thereafter. So they say, and I believe that, like with the ancient technology or the ancient civilizations, that they might have had some sort of different energy source in us. I mean, and that's what gave them life. And for me, like, well, when you look at the Tartaria stuff, it does. The timeline that we're in right now, it doesn't really make sense. Like how we got the internet, and then within that, now everybody has like a walking computer. I'm saying things are going so fast now. I guess like the natural, like the natural cycle. It's almost like we found technology that we used to have again. Like we're recycling stuff that we already had. And then you look at the pyramids. We can't recreate the pyramids today.
Not even to like that degree of north. Not even the fucking White House that is that degree at north.
So, and they say they have, you know, what is it? Secret geometry where they can figure out how to lift huge, heavy stuff that you and I don't know about. So there's definitely secret knowledge that us normal people do not have. Okay. So
I have a friend who actually went to Area 51, who, was in the military. I'm not going to get into like the details because I think if you like look on my social media, it's like so obvious who it is.
So they went to Area 51.
They went to Area 51 when they were in the military in this special branch. And this is like, I'll give some context. Like this, sorry, Wonky is like right behind the screen and like moving it.
I know. And Skybear won't shut up. He knows. Look, he is so chunky, Skybear, and he's just such an attention hound. He just will not leave me alone. Okay. All right. Let me keep on my lap. He'll shut up. Okay.
But
so Area 51.
So you know the whole like 0 point energy is the idea that oh God, I'm gonna get this wrong, but it's like you absorb electrons out of the atmosphere, and that's what generates, and it's all like controlled by your consciousness. And I don't know if you've done like a huge amount of psychedelics, but 100% I've done a little shit as a result of psychedelics. I'm like 1000%. I can talk to my fucking cats through my brain. Like,
hey, Okay, we are energetic beings. That's why they keep us in a low vibrational state. That's why they know it. It's because they can manipulate us. And when we're in a high vibrational state, that's like what we're in right now. And we're talking and we're thinking, but they want to keep us in that constant trauma-based mind control, low vibrational state where you're always in fear. It's called the fight or flight response. And if you are in that fight or flight response, you're in that low vibrational. You can't even, and it's magnetic. So you actually connect with other low vibrational people. So it's like, no, that's our energy and the energy around us. That's so true. I mean, if you just look at how magnets work, humans are not much different than a magnet, in my opinion.
I couldn't agree more. And like, it's so interesting because like you said earlier about like your dad with like that low vibrational energy. And I get it. Like there is a reason why I always used to think it was because I was an only child, but I spend copious amounts of my time alone. And then I'll go to like New York or I'll go do like a city trip and I'll be like around people 24/7 for like 4 days. And then I'm like, fuck this. And I have to,
I'm the same way.
the people I love more than anything else in the world, but like I just have to get my own space. But I also think that they do that with music. And I listen to music all day, every day. Like I should do a whole show about music because I love music so much. I'm a terrible musician, but like I go nuts if I don't listen to music. And I think they have us addicted to this low frequency fucking music. Sometimes when I do mushrooms, my friends are in this band called the Glitch Mob. They did like
very familiar with the Glitch Mob. I've seen the Glitch Mob bunch. Yeah, they're great. Yeah.
Wild. I saw
they've been out forever. I saw the Glitch Mob in college when they first started. So yeah, they've been doing it. They've been out for a while, like 10 years, something like that.
They've been out
like 15, 20 years. Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, they're old. Yeah.
They're amazing. But like, yeah, so
you're talking about the vibrational stuff with the mushrooms. Yes. And then music.
And I honestly, like, I really do think that is another form of mind control. And I wish I could show you all my cats around me right now because they are passed out. And this is the first time. Well, Miss Thing is down here cleaning herself like she cleans herself so weird. But she like lies there with like her legs up and then is like this, trying to like eat herself out or some shit. I don't fucking know.
Wow. Okay, I'm telling you, I'm having a cat catastrophe constantly. I mean, these cats are driving me. I mean, I love my cats. They're the only thing, but it's just, oh my gosh, they're just it's just never ending battle. Well, no, I have 5. I told you and I got one that's about to die that has kidney disease. I'm saying that one is the one that's kind of stressing me out lately. Just every morning she's throwing up. It's just I love cats. I will do anything to clean up for her, but I'm just all sad watching this little cat die. That's why like my other buddy, he just put like 2 dogs to sleep within a year. And he's like, I'm not getting another dog. I've lost my 2 dogs this year. I'm like, dude, get another dog. That's the love you make is equal to the love you take. That's what happens. All that all that good emotions you got from the animal, it's gonna, that's just what's gonna happen. You're gonna have those bad days. It's like in a relationship. You shouldn't not have the relationship, in fear that it's gonna end one day.
That's so true. And like I put a cat down Christmas Eve a couple of years ago, and he was my first like baby kind of, like my first real like solo. I live on my own. I had a Maine Coon. He was huge.
Was he like 30 pounds? Was he like big or how big?
He was like a solid 25 pounds. Like he was a big boy and he was so angry. Like he just walk around being like, nah, 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 like they do.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I would do without these 3. Like I feel awful. Like I was talking to my family yesterday back in the UK, and there's like other stuff as well because I'm here on like visa and I don't trust anyone, including the government. So I don't like to leave the country. I honestly think the next time I leave the country will be either after I've gotten married or it's going to be in a fucking casket. And that's only if I die before my parents, and my mum will not listen to my last wishes. And so I'm going to say this now. I want to be fucking buried. I don't want to be burned. I just want to be buried. I don't care where, as long as it's in the United States, that's all I want. So then my spirit can just go and like strut around all the national parks. I haven't seen enough of them yet. That's my plan after death. Anyway, my other get out of jail free card for not going back to the UK is my cats. Like I couldn't, like I have waking nightmares, not waking nightmares, but it's like those nightmares where they're like so lucid that you think you're awake, that I'm back in Swansea where I'm from and I can't get back to take care of my fucking cats. And like, I love them, and putting them down is traumatic and hellish. And I've also had like a dog stolen. But like, if it was up to me, I would have at least 15 pets at any given time, and that's not including farmyard animals. So like, I don't like, yeah, your friends just gotta like get back on the horse. I can't tell you the number of friends that I've like bought animals for, because I'm just like, oh, you're sad about an animal dying? Well, here's a new one.
Well, animals are they're so important. They're just such a like I don't know. I mean, I know some people don't like them, but for me, I think that's like
I don't trust people who don't like animals.
well, I'm saying I like animals more than humans, sadly. I mean, I do like humans. I mean I don't like humans, but this is why I actually hate saying this. It's like I drive down, I'm in Dallas, I drive down Central Expressway. There's 10 homeless guys every day, different signs, every corner. You know, there's like 8 corners on one big major intersection. There'd be a guy in everyone. Sometimes I'll give him $1. I don't want to act like I'm, not never giving. But if I see 2 days ago, I picked up a little dog, and now it's still at my dad's house. It doesn't have a chip. We don't know what we're gonna do with it. I'm saying if I see a stray dog, I go pick it up. If I see a stray animal, I will drive into traffic. I'll get hit. So it's like weird. It's weird in my mind that I have this justification where I like literally injure myself saving an animal. But if I see a human being begging for $1, I'm like, nah, I don't feel like rolling my window down. This song's too good.
I completely appreciate that mindset. Like, I had a similar thing in LA, right? So we have the same homeless crisis, and I keep forgetting that you're in Dallas. One of my friends works at the Blaze and keeps saying you should come out and visit.
Come and visit. I go on Sarah Gonzalez's show every Friday. You Are Here. She's got me as a regular guest now, so I'm at the Blaze. Yeah, I know. It's awesome. Yeah. It's good. It's good. I love Sarah. She's like my best friend at the Blaze, so she's helped me out a lot. But you need to come. You need to come on. I'll hook you up. We'll hang out in Dallas. You definitely need to come.
End up getting me pregnant, and then we'll have like human pets like running around.
That's fine. That little pregnancy is not that big a deal. I mean, that's not that big a deal. I mean, whatever. It's just a baby. We'll just feed it some food, and it'll figure things out.
But that's kind of my like whole thing, right? Is like, I feel, I don't know if this is like a woman thing. Maybe you can like shed some light on this, but I moved out here when I was 21 on my own. Didn't know I knew one friend in San Diego, and that was it. And I knew a couple of people through like work stuff who, eventually went on to become friends. But I was like 21 years old, like the week after I left university, move out to America, didn't know anyone, is 6,000 miles away from like everyone I'd ever know, everything I ever knew. And like, I was like, I'm going to become a well-known writer, and I'm going to be I'm going to make money and put on my tax returns that I'm a writer. And I come from a very long line of alcoholics, so that's probably going to fuck me up at some point.
No, that'll help you as a writer.
And, other than like, even though I have a huge amount of sympathy for people who get addicted to like opiates, then that begets, fentanyl and heroin, things like that. Addiction is a real crisis. But I kind of get it, because I look at what I've overcome, and everyone's gonna be like, you're a fucking white girl. Like, what have you overcome? My ex-boyfriend and his parents legit tried to murder me. Like, I've done.
What? What do you mean they legit tried to murder you in San Diego? What were they?
This is in LA, but that's a whole other kettle of fish.
Well, I know that we only have an hour-long show. I know, but wow, okay, so that's a bad experience. Is it the first guy you dated in America? His family tried to kill you?
No, that guy poisoned me. I had another ex-boyfriend before him who poisoned me.
Who poisoned you with what?
Most people, statistically speaking, I'm on the board of actually a nonprofit that now works with women, getting them through abusive relationships, giving them sort of life skills for employment. It's like a huge rehabilitative service. And I was the first rescue from this nonprofit, so that's why I've kind of like gotten into
paying it forward. Wow. So you're in LA, you had to go, and some guy abused you and I hate that. Okay, you're so tough though. See, it's kind of, and you're an only child like me, so you're kind of a loner, cause I'm saying, so it's like, you don't need a man. You're not the type of girl that need a man, but you probably like were in a situation where you got taken advantage of or something. I'm guessing. I don't know. I mean, if he obviously did that to you. So it's like, I just hate that the world is so sick and evil, but I'm happy you were able to get some help, and then maybe help other people through your experience. That's actually a silver lining.
But I think that's like the most important thing, right? We can do is like, don't just learn from your experiences, show others how to grow from them too. And so that's why, like, that's one of my favorite things about you, Alex, is the way that you care about animals in your life, like your self-perception is like second to none. It's so refreshing being around you, because I think I was even telling my family, I was just like, it's so nice to meet someone. I make a joke out of it. It's like, it's so nice to meet another crazy cat person. But also from the perspective of like, you take it way further than me. Like, I'm having steak for dinner and I just switch off this part in my brain where I'm like, oh, my period's due, I might as well have a steak to like up my blood iron.
Well, we have to buy meat for the cats. Don't feel bad about that. I'm a vegetarian because I'm
woo. Where I'd
woo.
like to get to. Plus, like, I'm pretty sure my building just found out that I've been smoking in the building. So, like, I have to quit that bad habit now, because otherwise I'm going to get in trouble.
Go on your porch. Go have a cigarette.
But I want to, like,
weed?
after that, I want to get to, like, I really want to go back to being a vegan, because like being a vegan helped me through like eating disorders and shit. But anyway, I digress.
Actually, Kay, I want you to keep eating meat, because I'm not some freak. Like I feed my cats meat, because you look at all these vegan cat pages and they have like sick cats. So I'm saying, for me, I was just a fat ass constantly eating keto. And then once I started eating vegetarian, I've still got fat again. I ended up gaining weight being a vegetarian because I eat so many carbs. But for me, I just, like I'm saying, I feel so much better. I'd eat all this chicken and bacon and all this stuff. Now my digestion is so good. And for me, it goes back to that low vibrational energy. It's like, when those other cows see each other get killed, you're getting all that adrenalized blood from their hormones. That's
why I don't want to have it. After our last conversation, I was like, ooh.
But who cares? Just have a hamburger. Oh my gosh. I mean, I know I sound like a hypocrite. Like me, as I don't eat meat, telling other people to eat meat, but I eat dairy. I eat cheese. So like I'm a walking, talking hypocrite to a vegan. They're like, oh, you like animals, but there's blood and calcium and it's just as bad. I'm like, all right, I know, I get it. I'm just trying not to eat the blood of the dead animals. For me, it's kind of a woo-woo spiritual thing. I'm not trying to virtue signal when I do it. So that's another thing. Is like people hate vegans are all virtue signaling. That's where it loses people.
But I don't know. It's like, I think there's a difference in virtue signaling, like, yours is like action, and I don't think that your theory on the sort of like the fear that goes hand in hand with like watching your family get slaughtered for meat, I don't think that that's like actually a conspiracy. Like, I know, like, my mom was telling me that when I was younger, I would like sniff chicken, like if she was cooking a roast dinner, and I'd be like, that's a sad chicken. And then she started getting only chickens from the farm.
And they were happy chickens.
And I'd be
that's
like,
a good chicken.
And like, I really do think so. That's not virtue signaling. Like, that's like actual, like, that's real life. And I don't think it's a conspiracy theory. And the reason that I care about that stuff is because, yeah, like when I was vegan, my skin was incredible. Like, my digestion was second to none. And like, I felt better about myself. I mean, I was still smoking pot at the time, and I wonder like what
smoking pot's like good
now.
I'm on a 7-day hiatus. I haven't been 7 days without weed in forever. And I'm telling you, I'm dumber. I thought I'd be clear. I swear, Kay. I swear. I always had short-term memory. And now I'm really more worried because I haven't smoked weed in a week. And I'm waiting till I'm going to San Diego this weekend. In my mind, I was like, I'm going to wait to go to San Diego. I'm going to, this month, I'm going to take it off. And then when I get to San Diego, I'm going to smoke. But in my mind, I was always having like short-term memory. I think, oh, I'm smoking weed. That's why I can't remember something. Now that I stopped smoking weed, I feel like my short-term memory is even worse than this past week. Yeah. I swear.
Mm-hmm. When I quit smoking weed, I was having this conversation this weekend. I went from like, I couldn't remember shit, but I had the caveat of like, I smoke pot, like I can't remember anything, to all of a sudden being not in any way smoking, even like doing edibles. And I was like, wow, I've done some like lasting damage to my neurology.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, oh my God, do I have early onset Alzheimer's? I have early onset Alzheimer's. I have Joe Biden disease. I swear, I'm literally thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm a baby Joe Biden. I'm baby Joe Biden. And then myself, I'm even feeling worse. I'm like, when Joe Biden was my age, he was like senator or something. He was doing way better than me. I'm like, So yeah, it's not. Everybody at home, yes, you should take a tolerance break, I guess, as they say. But just because you quit smoking weed doesn't mean, everything gets totally, you feel like your life gets so much better.
Like? Yeah. What have your dreams been like since you
kind of weird? I mean, but I kind of had a weird dream last night, probably because I went to bed in such like a bad mood. Like last night I had a dream that like I have a turtle and like all this, somehow my turtle turned in like 20 turtles and there's like and I didn't know what to do. I'm like, where am I gonna get all these tanks? Like I had a stress dream. I swear, I'm like, I got all these turtles. I can't go take them to the, should I go to the lake? Should I go take them to the lake? I can take them to the lake, but now they're used to this water. Is they're going to be okay with the pond water? They're going to get sick. I was having a turtle crisis.
Turtle crisis dreams.
So that's a weird dream. That's a weird dream for sure.
I mean, it's going to get fucking weird. I'm just like throwing it out there. Like how's the weather with you guys right now?
Crazy. It was like 80 degrees yesterday. And then at night it got really cold. And now today it's like 45. So it's weird. It was warm yesterday and then freezing, not freezing, but colder, under 50 today. So what's the weather in North Carolina like?
Pretty much like we've had 2 days of 80. And I think it's probably like we've got rain, I think tonight. So it'll go back down again. And everyone was, this drives my, people are always like, don't like the weather in like North Carolina, just like wait 15 minutes. And I'm like, that doesn't apply in the summer though, does it? Because it's going to be 90 degrees with 100% humidity and I'm going to be able to smell myself from a mile away.
Okay, you don't stink. I know you smell good. I know you smell exactly like the Welsh muffin with a little strawberry jam, probably a little sweet, very nice. Okay, okay, gosh, we've had such a good conversation, but let's talk about this though, because we start off with World War III though. You're in North Carolina, a lot of the military stuff, and I think you're saying it's so true. Your point about the Afghanistan, how like we need a war. So do you think though in America we will actually be, because you're an immigrant, I guess I'd say, are you afraid of you were talking about, are you actually afraid of America getting attacked? Because for me, this is the reason why this is the reason why I bring it up. They say, and I forget who wrote this book, so I'm quoting a guy, I don't even know his book, is that you have like a much likelier chance of being a victim of your own government's military than a foreign military. So in my mind, after how they treated COVID, I'm not worried about a war in Texas. I really not. I think they just use it as propaganda and fear. Like, I mean, I guess I haven't, even if World War III happens, I don't think that I will be affected by it personally.
So I could be wrong, this is
not like affected physically, maybe financially. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, you will, you'll definitely fight. Yeah. You're already being financially hurt by
exactly.
This. No, like this is, and again, like this is not what you're being affected by with like the gas prices. That has nothing to do with Russia. Our oil and gas was less than 3% imported from Russia. Like this is all just like inflation bullshit.
That's all bullshit to rile people up. We have and like they're just trying to not talk about the Keystone Pipeline that they canceled. We have enough oil and gas reserves in the state of Texas than to cover all of our gas needs, but we don't even use it all. So listen, the gas thing is like, that's just another way for these fat cats to raise the prices, to screw us up, and to stick it to the poor people. Because there's a guy, it went viral on TikTok. I don't even check TikTok. I actually saw it on Instagram, but they were blasting the guy. This guy's at the gas pump. He's like, and this is in LA. He's like this black guy's running chain. He's like, man, I can't do anything. I'm trying to drive DoorDash, and every time I make an order, it goes into my gas tank. And these people are like clowning him. They're like, oh man, not clowning him to be mean, but just like, oh, that sucks. Like I can't work. And because the way he sounded was like, is goofy. Like he had a goofy mannerism, but it's true. And that's what I'm saying is now the DoorDash guys can't deliver your food. So the middle class, like you and me, we can't get our sandwiches to do our podcast, and they can't do their sandwiches to do their. So it's saying it makes it more expensive for us. Now we got to pay $22 for our $6 sandwich that we had delivered to our house. I'm just saying, you're right. It does affect us. It really hurts the poor people, but it goes. I mean, it affects all the peons, I guess. It doesn't. You don't see any celebrities complaining about their gas prices.
No, and I mean, I wrote an article for the Daily. I know, Stan. I wrote an article for the Daily Caller, it's my dog, which was like George Takei was like, "Suck it up, guys," and it's just like, "Fucking eat a bag of dicks, George Takei, you piece of shit." But no, going back to your original question, because I have to go in a second and do this other show, but it's my Monday segment on the Joe Pack show.
We can wrap things up, and we'll do a show next week. We got because we didn't even get into much of that stuff because we said we're going to do a regular. Yeah, we do need to figure out the only reason. Okay, I definitely want to do a regular show. Is I have my organizational skills are shit. I have a guy. But I'm just saying that I can do all the editing and all this, but I'm saying it's like, gosh, my schedule. I just hate putting stuff in the schedule and marking it down because I always change it. Like one of my buddies right now is mad because last night after my dad cussed me out, I had a show with another guy and I called him. I'm like, dude, I don't even feel like doing a show. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, man, my dad was like literally like yelling at me, telling me. He wasn't yelling at me in a mean way. He's just like, why? Why would you do that? Why would you jeopardize and like put like making me feel all guilty? And I'm like, Dad, this is this is what I want to do. And this is what makes me, this is what made me really sad about it, is my mom is my number one fan. So when I would call out politicians and all this stuff, my mom loves it. She's laughing with me. She's dead, RIP, I'm saying. And my dad is always, even though he's very close, he's my fan. He's the guy that he can't see the vision. He can't watch one podcast. My mom watched every single one. So it's like, he just doesn't get it. So I can justify it all day long. I can be like, well, my dad doesn't get it, but it just sucks that I don't have anybody I can turn to. Like when my dad would get mad at me about doing something, at least I'd call my mom. Oh, my buddy Oliver, $100 super chat. Thank you so much. That's my buddy Matt. He does it. He's too nice. He's a very nice guy. But what I'm saying is about my low vibrational thing. I know you got to go, but I'm like, it just kind of sucks. It's like I was in this low vibrational state because I was extra sad that I didn't have my mom to call and say, hey, it's okay. Your dad's just an old fogey that doesn't know what you're doing. He doesn't get it. He thinks what you're doing. Like he would never understand. My dad could never see the reasoning to yell at a judge. My dad would be like, you always kiss a judge's ass. You might need a judge. So it's just different. So that's, I guess,
unconditionality, and you deserve it. Like you can always call me. I'm not going to be a replacement to your mother ever. But like you already know.
That's who I'm looking for. That's who I need to marry. I'm trying to marry. I'm kidding. I would not want to marry somebody like my mom. I love my mom. I'm saying I want to marry somebody different than my mom. Put it that way. Is all. Look at that. Says that Spags. Is that his name?
Oh, her name is Stan.
Oh, Stan.
She's my little
Chihuahua. That's a chunky Chihuahua. Like, what is that? That's like a Chihuahua mixed with something. What is that's a cool looking dog?
There's a little bit of everything. I know there's a little bit of everything in this one. We don't really know. She was a street dog in California. But no, dude, going back to
you know what happened with that dog? A male Chihuahua had sex with like a big dog. Like a small Chihuahua had sex with a big dog. That is that dog. That dog is sweet because it's like a big version. Its head. That is a cool looking dog.
Yo, people stop us. Like I walk her around the lake here and people will stop us and be like, oh my God, you look just like your dog. And I'm like, look at her eyes, right? She's got like the tear stains. Can't get rid of them. Tried everything. Even tries to get rid of them. And I was just like, Stan literally walks like she's dancing. She prances.
She's your twin. She's your doppelganger.
She is. I love her to pieces. I don't know what I'd do without her. But
we need to have the animal hour. We got to have a show. We got to have the Kay and Alex animal hour or something. We got to,
let's do that next. Okay, I'm gonna put that in the calendar next. I'm really excited to go on Joe Pags. I never ever
get out of here. Get out of here.
Nothing to do it. Like there's, I don't know what I would do without Joe. He's one of my best friends, but like you should meet Joe. I
definitely would. And tell him about me. I know you tell everybody about me because you've helped me out so much with the Daily Caller. I want to tell you. I
did nothing. That was all that.
Still, you told me about it. I wouldn't have found it. I don't care. I still want to give you credit. I don't care. Let me think how I want to think. Do not break the illusion. I'd rather have it. I'd rather give you credit. And I want to tell the Daily Caller, actually tell them I really appreciate them because my subs are going way up on my other channel. Like not my Conspiracy Castle. Well, my subs are going up my Conspiracy Castle channel. But I'm saying now, all like my other channels, it's not huge, but now I'm already over 20,000. And when I started at the beginning of this year, I was at like 3,000 on that channel.
Hey, that's amazing.
Yes. So that channel, I'm just surprised. My I have multiple channels where I do multiple content because whatever, I'm getting strikes in this now. I just can't believe that channel where the Daily Callers, that's where I put all my trolling videos. And so that's why that channel is blowing up. So I really appreciate that. And guys, I want to say the people watching, this is kind of a crosscast. Kay and I are going to do more stuff, but still go in the link in the description, go to her YouTube right now because we're ending the show and go subscribe and go write a nice comment. I would appreciate that. If you guys want to do me a favor, do that because I want Kay to know that, she is beloved here at the Conspiracy Castle. And so, Kay, I know you got to go. What do you want to leave the people with before we say adios?
Oh God, so much. Firstly, the war, when it hits us, someone's going to nuke us. I'm just throwing it out there. They don't have to be boots on the ground to answer your earlier question.
And where are they going to hit? Alaska, though? You think they're going to?
No, if I was like a Russian operative, I would go for one of the major cities, or I'd go for someone that's like beloved, like Dolly Parton's place or something.
Nashville or whatever. No way, dude. They cannot. If they tried that shit, if they really try to do this shit and they put us in a world war, which I think is like what the neocons even on the right want, we're so screwed. Like,
yeah. But no, Alex, like I was gonna say, so the most viewed or listened to podcast I've ever done was with Jack Posobiec. Every other day I wake up, I swear, like yesterday or the day before, I woke up to like 3 new comments on the YouTube show that like I have had more comments on that show than, There was one point where I interviewed like back to back, like Tommy Lauren, Dr. Drew, and I can't even remember who the other person was.
Those are huge.
They were like huge names in like, you know, they're on TV every day, that kind of shit. I have had a greater response to our episode together. Like, your fans are the loveliest people under the fucking sun, and I'm not surprised because you are too. You are the loveliest person under the fucking sun.
No,
And yeah, I'll organize everything. I'll hold you to it because I love you unconditionally already. So we'll do an animal hour. We'll do more conspiracies. There's so much more to explore with World War III and how we're all going to die. And
World War II. Talk about conspiracies. I'm saying all the world wars, Vietnam, the Iraq War. We're just getting started with war content and conspiracies. There's an endless amount. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, guys. Go hit the link. We got to say goodbye to Kay. She's got to go on the Joe Pag show. Guys, make sure to support Kay. And if you guys want, go sign up for Kay's Patreon. She has awesome stuff there. That's really supportive. You guys remember, independent journalists like Kay, she really appreciates. I'm saying when you actually support her, she appreciates it. So you're not just pissing in the wind, as they say. I hate to end it on a dirty comment like that. That's what I'm saying, guys. So like when you do that, you're helping a person succeed and survive. So you're not just buying her diamond rings, you're paying her bills so she can survive. So think about that. You can virtue signal. If you have white guilt and you feel bad about having too much money, give some to Kay, a little bit to me, and then feel unguilty anymore. Okay, Kay, I love you. I'll talk to you next week, guys. Peace. See you guys.
Wait, bye. I gotta quickly say for my channel though, like, just everyone go down to the description. Everything's in the link. Go follow Alex. Like, this is one of the most like special people I've ever met. I honest to God think / maybe even know that we've known each other in like every single past life. I'm convinced of it. Fact. I have no idea how we connected so quickly, so happily, and I'm eternally inspired by you. You're one of my favorite people, so go watch everything else he's ever done. And I love you. I gotta pee so bad before I go into this next show.
Go pee. See ya. Bye.